about $10,800 per employee per year on software subscriptions, and 49% of licenses go unused. I'm Corey, founder of Neuron HQ. Here's the honest math on subscribing versus building. Most owners can name their 3 biggest software subscriptions, and most are wrong about the total, because the total is not 3 subscriptions. It is 3 big ones plus 14 small ones, bought by 4 different people over 6 years, several of which renew on a card nobody checks. Here is the benchmark. Companies now spend about $10,800 per employee per year on software subscriptions, up from $9,643 the year before. Small and mid-sized companies run a little higher, around $11,200 per employee. For a 50-person business, that is $560,000 a year. And the number that should genuinely annoy you, around 49% of purchased licenses go unused. That is not a rounding error. On a $112,000 spend, unused seats are plausibly tens of thousands of dollars a year, buying nothing at all. So, over the next few minutes, what you are really spending, the $250,000 number that misleads every small business where the break-even actually lands, and which one you should pick, including when the answer is keep subscribing. Let us start with the free thing you can do this afternoon before you consider building anything. Export the last 12 months of card and bank statements, filter for anything recurring, and list everyone with its monthly cost and who actually uses it. Most people find between 3 and 8 things nobody has opened in a year. Canceling those is the highest return per hour available to you, and it requires building nothing. If you do only one thing from this video, do that one. Now, the number that stops most of these conversations before they start. Search what custom software costs, and you will be told around $250,000 for a typical project. That figure is real. It is also measuring something you are probably not buying. That number reflects enterprise development, multi-team projects, long discovery phases, compliance regimes, integration with systems that predate the people maintaining them. A single tool that replaces one workflow for one small team, scoped tightly and shipped in weeks, is a different category of purchase entirely. Confusing those two is the single most expensive misunderstanding in small business software, because it keeps people subscribing to 9 tools out of a belief that the alternative starts at $250,000. So let us look at where the break-even actually lands. Year 1, subscribing is clearly cheaper. Building costs more upfront, and there is no argument about that. By year 3, the two are roughly level as the subscription costs accumulate. By year 5 and beyond, a well-scoped build is commonly 30 to 60% cheaper in total cost of ownership. 2 details decide where your crossover really lands. The first is the compounding one. Subscription cost usually scales with headcount. A build's cost does not. If you plan to grow, that difference widens every single year, and it is the strongest argument for building. The second gets left out of every sales pitch, so I will put it in. Software you own needs hosting, updates, and occasional fixes. Anyone comparing a build against subscriptions without a maintenance line is selling you something. Include it. The comparison still usually works, but it works honestly. So, which one should you actually pick? Keep subscribing when your process is a standard one and the tool was built for exactly it. Accounting, payroll, and email are solved problems. Do not rebuild solved things. Keep subscribing when the tool is genuinely used, when you are still figuring out the process, and when the total is small enough that your effort is better spent elsewhere. Never build a workflow you have not run manually. That one is worth repeating because it is the most common way a custom build goes wrong. If you cannot describe the process on paper, you are not ready to automate it. Build when you are paying for 4 tools to do one job, plus a spreadsheet holding them together, plus a person whose job is partly that spreadsheet. Build when the way you work is the advantage, and every tool makes you work its way instead of yours. And build when the integration you need does not exist, and the workaround is a person retyping things between 2 screens. That last one is worth pricing properly. Somebody spending 2 hours a day moving data between systems is roughly a quarter of a salary. Every year, forever. That is usually a larger number than the build it would take to end it. Most owners have never put that on the same page as the quote. So, do the free audit first. Cancel what nobody opens. Then write down the one process that cost you the most time, because that document is most of the work and it is worth doing whether you build anything or not. If you want the math run on your actual stack, tell us the workflow that costs you the most and what you pay to hold it together, and we will tell you whether building beats subscribing, including when it does not. That is at neuronhq.com/. Do the free audit first, cancel what nobody opens. Then write down the one process that costs you the most time. The full written version, with every source linked, is at neuron-hq.com/blog.